Welcome back to Mediocre Gamers. This is Crimson, and I'm here with Caleb again.
Hey guys, what's up?
This is going to be a two-part video. The first part is going to be us doing a deck build. For both of our decks, we are going to be playing a two-player co-op game versus Goblin, and we kind of wanted you guys to see the deck building process that we go through. Caleb is going to start us off. What are you going to be running, Caleb?
I'm going to be running Captain America Protection.
So, now what I like to do is I like to just copy and paste, that way.
Oh yeah.
And then there you go.
All right.
And deck building in this game is super easy because you grab your hero, you get the 15 cards, those are automatic, and then your nemesis just go off to the side, so you just have to add in the rest of the cards till you get to 40. It is 40 to 50, but most people run 40. Once in a while you run 41.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you can get away with it, I would probably run an extra one or two, especially because you cycle through your deck so fast.
Yeah.
And especially for somebody like Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
who mills herself. I actually have this deck built in physical form, so this will actually be super duper easy. Obviously, we're going to start with Luke Cage and Widow and Nova, who's OP as shit.
So you're going to run all three of the protection allies.
Yep. I'm going to run 2 counter punches because
it's 2 damage.
It's 2 damage.
For
it's
0.
It's not great because you also have to get the attack first, but if you're playing protection, you're going to try to do that anyway. The new damage card Tackle, I think, is quite a bit better, but a little extra damage is nice. Definitely running 3 Get Behind Me's, because counter spells are great. And it makes the villain attack you, which means that you get to trigger your defend stuff. Not going to use that.
Okay. I felt the same way. I felt like the card just didn't do enough.
It's good. The problem with it that I have is that you're competing with too many better cards for the slot.
Yeah.
So if I were to run Expert Defense, I would probably just run another Counterpunch instead.
Now, if we had a card like Counterpunch, but instead of attack it was defense, I would probably run the Expert Defenses more.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, like where you attack with or you deal damage equal to your defense rather than attack.
Yeah. Then I could see, because A, you're defending, so you want the extra defense anyways, and then B, you're going to combo that into more damage. But as it is now, I don't think it's not enough to take up a slot.
No, especially because, like, I get it costs 0. It's an event, so you can do some really weird triggers with it, especially with, again, Miss Marvel. It just doesn't feel like it has a place yet until there's some sort of, like you said, damage equal to defense. Even with, like, Spider-Man, it doesn't make sense because you're already going to be at 3, 4, somewhere around there in defense, and any more is going to be overkill.
Yeah.
Tackle, 3 of... easily.
This is like your favorite card out of this new set, isn't it?
That and the Justice one. I think having a way to stun and confuse and do damage is really strong, especially in those 2 archetypes that didn't have a whole lot of damage. Preemptive Strike, I'm running 2 of. I haven't had a chance to see whether it's good or not, but it's gimmicky enough for me to be like, yeah, okay, I can see how, there's going to be an occasion where this is going to hit hard.
Yeah, this is a card that I've been looking at quite a bit myself. It was one of the cards that's piqued my interest right off the bat.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely have to see how it works.
Yeah. I think I hit it once when I played the Miss Marvel starter deck. And it was fine. I think I did 2 damage with it. Like, it was okay.
And it is nice that you get to see what the boost icons are first. because you play that after the boost is revealed.
Oh, okay, that is way better than I thought. I thought it like you have to play it before you flip the boost card.
No, it's when it's flipped, then you can decide if you want to use it or not.
Okay. So then that is actually a lot better.
Yeah, it's a great way to get 3 extra damage in, especially as protection.
Yeah, and the fact that you'd be canceling 3 damage too.
Yeah, so it's a 6 damage swing.
Yeah, that is actually a lot stronger than I thought. I think I've got 2 armored vests, because I think any more than that, and it's, again, overkill.
Yeah. Now, the only time, for the viewers, the only time that I would ever consider running 3 is if you're playing in a 4-player match.
I would even say probably in a 3-player, depending on what everybody's playing.
Yeah.
If you've got a Spider-Man, Justice deck or something running around, then it's like, yeah, I'll throw one on him, because then he's got 4 defense.
Exactly. So one of the things I like about doing this is we're building the deck, and we're kind of building it with the understanding that we're going to be playing this as a 2-player group.
Oh, yeah.
And I think more play groups should think about this when, instead of just building a deck and being like, okay, this is my deck, you might want to build a deck for your solo environments, and then you might want to build decks that complement the other people in your play group.
I completely agree. I think that this, and especially with Arkham Horror, which is the other game that we play pretty consistently, is that you can have your solo deck, and that's great. You do whatever you want with it. But when it does come to team play, like, you have to take into account your role in the team. You have to take into account what other people are playing. Like, you really want to build those decks together, or at least have some semblance of what they are going to be playing as well, so you can kind of not necessarily step on their toes with cards, but maybe fill in the voids that they have, or fill in the weaknesses that they have.
I agree.
Let's see here. I've got 2 Indomitables.
Now, this is a card that I typically run 3 of. Just me personally.
And I was going to.
You start running out of space.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is you start running out of space. I think I dropped 1 for Energy Barrier, because I didn't really get a chance to test it out either. I think it's a meh card, but I want to actually see if it's a meh card. I actually am not playing any med teams.
And now, if I had said that I was going to play Justice, then you might reconsider on the med teams. I'd probably throw in the med teams instead of the energy barriers, because it would allow the allies to stay around. But you know that I'm going to be playing a Justice deck, so...
And that's the thing, is, like, if you're playing leadership, I would probably run med teams, because it gives me a way to help you survive.
And you.
And me, yeah, and especially if you get, like, Vision out or somebody like that, and you're pumping him up to 4 and just cracking in on people, and it's like, yeah, then heal him back and just keep him around. I don't think that it's all that important in this deck, just because it only has the 3 allies. They're kind of only okay, except I think Nova. I think Nova is OP as crap. Yeah. But he is better with Spider-Man than he is Cap.
Yeah. I would say if you're running protection, then if you were going to run the first aids, it would be better to run a couple medical teams instead of 3 first aids. But if you're not going to run the first aids, I don't think it's that important to run the medical teams, depending on your partner.
Yeah, and I think that again, if you're not partnering with leadership, or honestly just somebody who is really going to be relying on the allies, med team's great for somebody who is. But with, I think, the amount of healing that's in the game right now, especially just flip over to Alter Ego and recover.
Yeah,
you normally don't need it.
Now, I do think med team does work really well with the Luke Cage, because he has such high health.
Yeah.
And if you were running maybe Lockjaw, but I don't think you're running Lockjaw anyway. So
I'm not.
it's not that style deck.
Again, he's good, and he's actually really good with Cap because you can discard Lockjaw for Cap's ability to stand him, and then use him again, and then play Lockjaw from the yard, which is great, and it has a ton of synergy. But again, I think that if I was running, that's the problem. Now, it does help because it's Cap, so he is -1 if he's the first ally, and you can use the Helicarrier to get the other -1. Then it's just 2, which is super strong because then you're just bringing him back over and over and over again. And I may try to work that combo in at some point, but I just built this deck the other day from scratch. I haven't played it yet, and I'm like, I kind of want to test out protection built this way and see how it runs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then I think that's going to be the next step, is throwing in a couple of med teams, throw in Lockjaw, and see what kind of nonsense I can rumble with. I am going to do the 1 energy barrier. That way I can test it. And if it's terrible, I'll never play it again. I'm going to grab these because they're prettier. And that is... Boop.
And then a nice way to tell how many cards you have left is if you just drop them onto your 15.
Just add those over there. Yep.
So you know you got 5 left.
And I got 1 mansion, 1 helicarrier.
And then probably the 3 resource cards, right?
Correct. That's what I've got right now.
Not running Nick Fury.
He's too damn expensive. Even with the -1, he just doesn't... He doesn't feel like he actually adds much to the board. Like, truly. Like, he's good, and he draws you 3 cards or does 4 damage, but if you blow your hand playing him, then the 3 cards are probably not getting played that turn. Paying 4 to deal 4 damage, and then... What is it? Is he a 2, I think? 2 attack? Yeah, he's a 2/2. So paying 4 to deal 6 damage feels bad.
And you get a soak.
You do get a soak, though. That is true, because you're definitely going to defend with him.
Yeah. So it's 6 damage plus whatever damage the villain would do to you.
Yeah, plus eat an attack. He's good. Don't get me wrong. I think that he's good. I just don't think that he is... I don't think he's as good as Gandalf is. Because that's the thing, is he is literally modeled off the FFG Lord of the Rings card game Gandalf.
If he was 3 or 4 threat, I think they'd be different.
Yeah, I think that if he was a 3/3 or a 3/3/3.
Yeah, 3 cards, 3 damage, 3 threat.
Yep. Or 4/3/4. Like, if he removed an amount of threat actually worth playing him, because being able to drop him, remove 3 or 4 threat, swing in or thwart to get 2 more off of it, and then soak, that seems like a really good play.
So
but
that's 6 damage in soak or 6 threat in soak. I think that makes sense. But yeah,
or draw 3 cards, do 2 damage or get 2 threat off, and soak. He's all right.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and try Miss Marvel.
Okay. She's really fun. She's really difficult.
Yeah, I've played her before, and I have had issues playing her. She is not an easy one to play.
Agreed.
It also doesn't help that we don't have all, Protection has a ton more cards, and Justice we're still a little low on cards. So with Miss Marvel, the biggest issue that I'm going to run in with her is she is a flip every turn. No matter what, you're flipping her every turn.
Pretty much, yeah. And that's kind of the difficult thing that I had to figure out was because I just cracked her out of the starter and played.
Yeah.
And she was fun. The starter's really good. But I realized that all of her support cards, like not just support as in the actual card type, but just like her tech is all alter ego, and then all of her actual cards are hero form, and it's like, okay.
Yep, she's
well
quite interesting to play there.
Yep.
I am not gonna run Great Responsibilities with her. Actually, I'm gonna put them in the maybe pile later. I think it's a great card. I just don't think it's good for her.
Yeah, and I think that Great Responsibility is, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a bad card because it's technically not.
Right.
But
in like She-Hulk, it's got way more value because you want the damage on you.
Correct. And if it would have said like, I don't want to say the villain attacks you because that could actually hurt a lot worse.
Yeah.
But if it had some sort of synergy with actual game mechanics so that you could get triggers off of other cards or, triggers off of Spider-Man to draw a card.
If it didn't say Nova, hero, I think it would be a better card.
That would be quite a bit nicer, yeah.
So I'm definitely going to play the 3
concussive blow.
Thank you. I cannot speak today. Mainly because a lot of times I will be flipping back and forth into alter ego, and confuse will actually be very helpful.
Yeah.
This is going to go in the maybe pile.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on.
I'm not really sold on either one of these.
I think that because Miss Marvel's cards themselves have kind of their own toolbox of damage, threat management, and damage prevention.
Yep.
That technically this card can be useful because you will be defeating minions.
Yep.
Especially with Followed as well. But the problem that I end up having with it is how often am I going to be fighting and killing minions?
Yep. Oh, so heroic. Normally in Miss Marvel, I would not put this card in the deck.
I probably wouldn't, to be perfectly honest.
I'm going to put 1 in.
Okay.
Because if I can put 1 on cap,
then I can start removing 6 threat a turn, yeah.
Exactly. So it's going to be worth... And this is where building the deck with the knowledge in mind that I'm going to be playing with a partner and that who that partner is going to be playing makes a difference in the deck building. So I think it is worth running one of those in this scenario.
Yep. I also think that this card, Interrogation Room, if... Okay. That there's this very specific wording on... Oh, no, there's not. Okay. Because this one actually says play under any player's control. Okay, so you can't play Interrogation Room on another player. If that would have been the case, then Interrogation Room would have been good.
Yep, because, and part of the, like, Interrogation Room, I do like to run in, like, She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be killing a minion. Versus some other heroes where you might not be killing the minions.
Yeah.
Because it does say you. Now, if this just said after a minion is defeated...
That was going to be my other suggestion. Like, if it said just after a minion is defeated, exhaust it to remove a threat.
Yep.
Great. 3 of.
Yeah.
But it is not that good. I do think that Followed is an automatic 3 of.
Yeah, I think Followed is a guaranteed 3 of. And then that's...
It is just so good.
So that means I get 11 cards from our neutral pile.
Nice.
I'm definitely going to run the Nick Fury and the Mockingbird. I'm not going to...
I think in this deck, both of them are very, very strong.
And the other difference is I don't have the third ally in my aspect like you do.
Yep.
So Nick Fury can take that third ally spot where you wouldn't have been able to before.
Yep.
Miss Marvel, in my opinion, she needs card draw. So I do run the 2 Avengers Mansion and the 1 Helicarrier.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty much my standard go-to anyways.
Yeah.
And then I always run those. So these are pretty much my standard go-to. Let's see what we're at now. So I get 3 more cards? Minimum.
I would put Tenacities in. I would put maybe one or two. And the reason why is because then you can use her ability again in the same turn.
Tenacity is definitely an option. I don't think the haymakers, I don't think the first aid or the emergencies are an option. I don't know.
I think that card is a sleeper.
I have not been. This is the card that I am actually more interested in running due to her low health.
Yeah, I could see that.
She doesn't need this as much because there
Not
is
necessarily.
so much. Now, if we had... So we are missing the other one, which will come out with Thor.
Yeah, the physical.
If we had the physical, I would very much consider it because of the concussive blows.
Yep.
I don't think we need the Honorary Avengers, although it's not a bad card. It does.
It's a bad card.
It does increase the hit points by 1.
That's okay.
And it's 0 for 1 hit point. But I don't think it's strong enough.
Card. And while you can run more than the 40, it's one of those cards that there's not quite enough synergy for it yet. Because there's the Avengers Assemble, which costs a boatload to play. And unless you are already flooding the board and have a massive, massive advantage, it's not going to do a whole lot. And then the Avengers Mansion, or not Avengers Mansion, the Avengers Tower, or whatever it is, that increases your ally slots by 1 if they're all Avengers and reduces the next Avenger by 1. The reduction doesn't help because you have to play the ally and then play the attachment. And then you getting the extra ally slot is not that... It's not enough of a big deal for me to play an attachment to make somebody an Avenger.
No.
Because that ally is going to go away anyway.
No, where I think it's a good card is on somebody like Lockjaw. Because now you will be able to get 3 attacks in instead of 2.
Because he gets the +1 health.
He gets the +1 health.
Yep.
I think in instances like that, it becomes a niche card. But in my opinion, it's still always going to be a niche card.
Yeah. I can't imagine that there's going to be, especially with the packs that are going to be coming out here soon, I don't imagine that we're going to get a whole bunch more Avengers synergy for it to really be like, oh man, this is so good.
Yeah.
But I think that it has a place in certain decks.
Now, I'm not going to run the downtown just because I have 5 recovery.
True. Now, I only have 3.
Yeah, so I think the downtime is a decent pick for Cap if you have the room.
Correct.
I'm going to try your Tenacity. I do not like this card. This is one of my least favorite cards in the game. I think it's too expensive for what it does. It's 3 cards, pretty much.
It's basically 3 cards.
Well, actually, it's 4 cards when you look at it.
Because of the actual card itself.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would probably run 1.
But I'm going to run 1 on your recommendation, and let's see if it changes. Who knows? Maybe it wins us the game.
Well, and the main reason why I would consider it is because of her ability. Yeah. So if you have a great turn where you've got her big hands, which costs 2 and deals 4 damage, you go, I pay 2, smack you in the face for 4, exhaust her, put it back in hand, use Tenacity to untap her, smack you again, return it to hand, smack you again.
Yeah. So I think it could be interesting to play.
Like you said, though, it is one of those things that's expensive, but if you get it out, then it's only going to cost 1 on a later turn to use it.
So do we want to play the big green goblin, or do we want to play the flippy green goblin?
Did you say that you didn't get very far with the flippy green goblin?
I lost to the flippy one on a solo play.
How far did you get in?
I think I got him to phase 2.
Okay. And we haven't played this one.
I have
Or
not
you haven't
either.
played the second. Okay,
Nope.
I have not either.
So you want to go with the second one and see how it goes?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay.
Seems fitting. I played the other one with RJ as my first time, and I'll be playing this one first time with you.
So let's look here. This is 1B. So contents: Green Goblin 1-2. We'll just play normal mode, right?
Sure.
Standard encounter set and Goblin gimmicks. Okay. That feels like a lot of cards. Feels like a lot of cards in there.
There's quite a few. I believe we take 2 of the Goblin Thrall minions. One of them starts engaged with each of us.
Ah. Yeah, so put a Goblin Thrall minion engaged with each player. So let's just... Actually, let's go ahead and start the second recording. So sure. This was our deck building, just to kind of let you guys see some deck building and how we build it, and you know, a little inside of our brain type thing. Next video is actually going to be the gameplay. They will be uploaded back to back, so we don't have to wait. I don't do that kind of bullshit. All right, we'll see you in a bit.
Peace.